Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to design a hero section that stands out and converts. We all know that hero section is the prominent part of a website or a landing page. It's actually the first part a visitor or user sees when they land on a website. It's very important that you design it as a designer in a way that hooks your visitor, right? You don't want to design a product that someone comes on the page and bounces immediately just because you couldn't properly communicate what that said product or website is all about to the user. A hero section is meant to convey the value and intent of a product or a service. So once a user comes to that website and they don't immediately catch that value, right, then that design has actually failed. And honestly, a bad hero section can ruin an entire website. Trust me on that. I'll be showing you what a bad hero section looks like, what is actually wrong with it, and then we'll redesign it together with tips on how to actually design a hero section that converts and stands out. I'll be using this project management website for this lesson. So this is the current state of the hero section, and it actually looks good, but trust me, a lot is going on. We have the headline that says the ultimate solution for all your work needs, right? So this headline feels too broad because what work are you precisely talking about? Like, who is it for exactly? It also doesn't communicate clear value, and it doesn't really tell users how this product or service would help them. The headline is generally not attention grabbing. Then the subheading doesn't reinforce or continue the story or promise of the headline, and it doesn't really speak to the pain points of visitors who would land on this website. There's no mention of solving real problems like deadlines or team collaboration. Sign up button could be more impactful. Like, I feel is weak, right? Because it doesn't really communicate any value. There's no hero image on this hero section, and this is just like a repetition of this. These are things that could have been talked about here. I'm not creating them separately on the same hero section. The current hero section generally lacks a visual representation of the product itself. And since this is a project management tool, right? I would expect to see like a dashboard preview or an app interface. Now that we're done reviewing a bad hero section, let's redesign this same hero section to be better and more impactful, something that would stand out and convert. I'll also be giving you tips that you can apply to any website as we redesign. For our new hero section, we'll be looking at the nav bar. We'll change the primary CTA from sign up to get started for free. This is very important because adding for free handles any objection or whatever that might prevent them from taking action. It makes them realize that they could access this at the moment for free. But when you don't add it, they might assume that it's paid. This can lead to high bounce rate or users dropping off. I'm also going to add a fill color to this nav bar. So I'm just going to add a white color, something that makes it obvious that it stands out from the major hero section. So it creates that distinction between this and this. We'll be changing the headline to something more attention grabbing. Keep your projects on track without stress. So when you read this as a headline, you know the particular type of work, which is project, and is benefit driven. It's very clear and easy to understand. It's not like filled with jargons. It speaks to the language and pain points of the user, more like you're telling the user that they can be able to keep track of their projects without stress. Then we'll be using this headline: managing projects shouldn't feel overwhelming. Zen helps you track progress, meet deadlines, and collaborate with your team. This subheading basically points out a problem that people who handle projects or do the work of project management experience, which is feeling overwhelmed sometimes, right? So it speaks to their pain points. It points out a relatable problem. If a user who has this issue comes to this website, honestly, they won't even think twice before clicking on get started for free, right? And it also clearly explains the product's value, like the value that users will be getting, which is they'll be able to track their project's progress, they'll be able to meet deadline because it takes care of everything very fast, and then they will be able to collaborate with their team. I'll highlight the both of them and align them to the left. We're going to change the primary button to get started for free. When you say see how it works, like it doesn't really connect with your visitors or your users emotionally. And since the name of this product is just 3-letter words, we'll just infuse it here, and it goes see how Zen works. We also have to improve the contrast of this secondary button. So I'm going to change the fill color to a shade of white, not entirely white, but something close by. I'll remove the shadows for the both of them. And then I'm going to also add like a gray stroke to this. I'm going to put them all in one container. For the hero image, we'll be using this dashboard as a visual representation of what users or visitors can be able to do with this website. That way they know what they're going into. So I'm going to just give this dashboard a corner radius of 16. Then I'm going to use the scale tool to reduce the size a bit. I'll be bringing it into this. Then lastly, we're going to be incorporating the social proof, because the social proof obviously builds credibility and it encourages user engagement. They've heard you say, oh, you can be able to track your projects without stress, but they want to know that there are people who have tested and trusted it. I'm just going to add it below everything else. So this is the redesign. Then this is the initial hero section. So we've seen what a bad hero section looks like and the reason why it doesn't convert, and what a good hero section on the other hand also looks like and why it converts. So overall, what makes a good hero section is the fact that it has an attention grabbing headline and subheading, right? Then a visual representation of the product or service, a very prominent and strong call to action button, social proof or few testimonials. The most important part, which is not losing sight of user goals, designing the hero section with users in mind and clearly communicating your value proposition. So we've come to the end of this video, and I really hope that you learned something today. If you have questions or any concerns at all, please do let me know in the comments. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.